Hey Rafian, welcome. Thanks for coming.
Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Today we are looking at a subdued market, CNBC website. Yeah, the future indices, they're all looking red. They are as red today as they were green yesterday in the morning. So there's a little bit of volatility that we can see here. And I think there are a few news items that do concern me. One of them out here is Senator Elizabeth Warren says FDIC staffing shortages threaten the safety and soundness of the banking system. So this is one data point. The second one is Trump signs order pausing enforcement of foreign bribery ban, point number 2. Now, when you take these two together, this again undermines US dollar as a reserve currency because FDIC is backstopping bad business in the finance sector and making sure that the consumer is taken care of. Now that has been taken out, and enforcement of foreign bribery was done so that American governments could not corrupt developing countries and bribe officials to take over lucrative contracts and thereby enable the developing countries to have a ability to grow, not to tempt them with corruption. Now, removing this basically allows bribing. So this again is not a very good policy for a country that holds a reserve currency status. So I'm thinking that all these actions, including tariffs and sanctions and everything, is putting increasing stress on US dollar as a reserve currency. That should probably reflect in gold because gold might get stronger. We'll see that when we go to look at the trading view charts. Sam Altman says Musk aims to slow down a competitor with his $97.4 billion bid for OpenAI. I mean, this is like all the restaurants everywhere started serving just burgers. And then people will get fed up. We don't want Elon Musk everywhere in everything. So I hope that OpenAI is able to do its own thing and continue on its own track. That said, all eyes are on Fed Chair Powell's testimony in the Congress. Remember, initially Trump had said that the Fed should lower interest rate, and then a couple of days later, he said he agrees with the Fed. So there's always going to be underlying conflict between Trump and the Fed. We might probably see some sample of that when Fed Chair Powell comes for a testimony in front of the Congress. It happens at 10 o'clock. We'll see what it does to the markets. I don't expect much to happen unless he talks about interest rates, and which again, if it is contrary to what the market has priced in. But the most important data point is going to be tomorrow, 8:30 a.m., core inflation and all inflation data and CPI data. So I think that the market is going to be in a holding pattern right now. We can't assume that the drop is going to further intensify. At the same time, we can't assume that this is the buying opportunity to jump up. We'll have to wait, see what happens, and then react rather than try to predict what's going to be the case. That way we can keep our capital safe. Let's go on to the TradingView platform next, and I'm looking at NASDAQ out here. And in the NASDAQ futures, all these candles are one-day candles, and we can see that we have still not made a new higher high so far. And today pre-market we are down 0.43. So it's neither here nor there. We are still above the 21-day and the 200-day exponential moving averages. So that's a good thing. And our MACD is mildly bullish. Momentum is just about average. So it seems to indicate a kind of holding pattern. I would be happy if we end this day with being above the 21-day exponential moving average. If you look at S&P 500, it's also displaying the same tendency. It has not created a new higher high, and it's still about 21-day exponential moving average. It's above the 200-day exponential moving average, and MACD is bearish. So there you have it. The two major indices are not betraying any signals of where it's going. So I would assume that they are in a holding pattern. And then if you look at the 10-year yields, they are inching up slowly, and this is not good for the stock market. And if I was to draw a trend line connecting the tops out here, this would have been the earlier line of resistance, and now we have broken out from there. And if we break through the 21-day, then the next limit for us is going to be this diagonal red line of resistance. So we have already created a higher high in the 10-year yields, which means that we are getting bullish with the 10-year yields. When the 10-year yields go up, you typically find that the stock market goes down. So that's the way I look at it. Now let's go on and have a look at the, let me move this from here if I can. Let me take you to the genomics side, because genomics watch list is short. Before that, let's do the indicators. Let us see what the Dow Jones looks like. Dow Jones again has not created a new higher high. It's still above the 21-day exponential. MACD has just about gotten bearish, but momentum is still intact. We are about 21 and 200-day exponential. We are in a bull channel, so we are okay at this point of time with Dow Jones. S&P 500 is looking similar to what DJI had done, Dow Jones had done, and it's still below this diagonal line of resistance, and it has to break through above it. And I think that we have broken above this diagonal line of resistance in, let me see, I'm getting a bit confused here. Let me clear my glasses. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, we are just on this diagonal line of resistance today. When the market opens, we'll see what happens. But again, we don't have a clear direction out here. MACD is still mildly bullish. Momentum is above average. We're above the 21-day exponential and the 200-day exponential. I would say still holding pattern. Whatever we saw in the futures market for S&P 500 is being re-emphasized out here. If you look at Russell Index, it was about 226.63 when we looked at it last, and right now it's at 225.87, which means that we have converted this support into resistance, and that's going to hurt us. And we are also fallen below the 21-day exponential moving average. Our MACD is still bullish, but momentum is just about average. So Russell is starting to betray a little bit of weakness, and it has shown a little bearishness out here, in my opinion. Put call ratio is mildly bullish to neutral. It's 0.78. I would say it is bullish. And if you look at VIX, VIX is still managing to straddle 15.88, which is the support that we have. And if it falls below that, it would be a little bit safer. But right now, I think it's also consolidating in the last 3 days and not making any big moves. And let us look at gold. Gold has been continuously going up, and this drop that you see out here is also because of the RSI overheating. And I think we are also looking at Fed Powell's speech and the inflation numbers to come in, and then we'll see what happens with gold. At this point of time, I think gold will need to consolidate a little bit, let the RSI cool down, and then it may make a move further. Many people are watching silver as well, and they're expecting silver to move up because it has not yet caught up with gold. Another item they're looking at is platinum, which has fallen significantly in comparison to gold. If you do a gold by platinum kind of a comparison, platinum has lost ground significantly. At one time, platinum was more expensive than gold. Now it is way cheaper than gold. So they're expecting platinum also to pick up, may or may not. And in terms of breadth of the market support, I think it is still compromised. Let's look at genomics now. In genomics, we have got Verve, which continued having 3 days of red candles falling down further. This is called as a 3 crows pattern. It's a bearish pattern. This morning we are up 0.25%. We have this golden cross. We have this, I think this is a death cross, because you got, let me see. I have to make these lines a bit thicker. I can't see them clearly. Give me 1 second. Yeah, now I can see it clearly. I should set this up before. So this is the 21-day exponential moving average. So this is a golden cross out here. Now what I'm expecting is that if we continue to see it drops out here, then this will turn around and it will cross over the 200-day exponential, which will be called as a death cross, which will be bearish. So right now things are still looking bullish for Verve. I won't give up on that. We could probably have a turnaround today. Ginkgo Bioworks is down 0.67%. Again, it's being supported by the 21-day exponential moving average. It has not become bearish yet. It's still got higher highs and higher lows. So everything is looking good for Ginkgo Bioworks. Caribou Biosciences is up 0.76% in pre-market trades. And we have a bottom out here. I think I'll just draw a line to put a floor out here. It's going to be this one at 1.31. We are at 1.33. So we'll have to see what happens today. If we continue to bounce off 1.33, then we have an exciting potential of forming a double bottom, which is a bullish pattern, which could probably indicate that we will break through the resistance of 1.52 and move upwards. So I'll watch out for that. But right now the stock is looking very weak because it's below the 200-day and the 21-day exponential moving average. And momentum is also at rock bottom. RSI is almost close to oversold. Now we have CRISPR Therapeutics, which is down minus 0.28%. I was hoping that we'll create a reverse head and shoulder. Those hopes have been dashed. So I'm just going to remove these reverse head and shoulder patterns from here. I don't want to see missed opportunity. It makes me sad. And I think all CRISPR shareholders also feel sad. I'll leave it be here and we'll see if it comes down out here and creates a new reverse head and shoulder pattern. If it touches this line of support at 38.68, and again at 38.68 it will be a steal. One of the reasons why CRISPR is also looking negative this morning could be because we got Verve earnings. And I looked at the paragraph that spoke about Casgevy. I didn't find anything new in it. If any of you found any new information in that, please put it in the comment section, because I have not been able to find anything. And I think that has given anticlimactic feeling. And there's a little bit of drop in momentum for CRISPR Therapeutics. That's my opinion. Next, let's look at Grail, which is flat. I think Grail is still bullish. It's super bullish. And we have earnings coming out on 26th of February. Right now, it is not showing any signs of slowing down. RSI is overbought, but it has not yet reached the levels that it has turned around in the past. I've already done the indices inf. So towards the end, we can try it again. Just remind me towards the end, okay? Now let's look at the at Prime. Prime has got no trades pre-market. It's in a very bearish channel. All the MACD momentum, everything is looking bearish. Beam Therapeutics is flat in pre-market trades. It has been consolidating in a wide range as such, and it is still above the 21-day and the 200-day exponential moving average. So I'm okay with that. But sooner rather than later, it's going to break down, it seems. But MACD is still bullish. Momentum needs to improve for it to continue staying above 21 and 200-day exponentials. Next, we have Altimmune, which is up 0.15%, and it's below the 200-day and the 21-day exponential. So I'm still bearish on that right now. And we also have momentum, which is very weak. RSI is also weak. And I think that the only hope for me is that we get some news about pemvidutide, and that could help a lot, especially with the talks of sanctions and other things, or not sanctions, I would say, with the talks of tariffs and other things. If there are retaliatory tariffs on semaglutide or something like that, I think Altimmune would be a good answer. But I don't hear any news about pemvidutide clinical trial results or anything, no new updates as such. If any of you have that, please put it in the comment section. Bluebird Bio is up 0.16% in pre-market trades, but you can see it is bouncing along the bottom. And if you were to look at it, it's more like a double top, which is bearish. But let us hope that we are going to bounce back from 5.97. Pre-market, we are at 6.30. So this support still works. Then Allogene is flat in pre-market trades, super bearish. It's looking really bad, $1.48, and mRNA is down 0.41%, and we have earnings coming up on 14th of February. So hopefully we get some catalysts out there, but otherwise the chart is looking really dead. ARCG is down 0.68%. It couldn't manage to break through and remain above the bull flag that we have formed. We were yesterday supported by the 21-day exponential moving average, but today it seems that we have broken down below it, because in pre-market action we are at 26.30, which is below the 26.39 support, and I think that the 200-day exponential is going to be our next support for today. If we fail that, then we have the bottom of this bull flag to support us. If we break down below that, I think then all bets are off. And let's go on and have a look at PACB, which is up 3.01%, and we have earnings coming up on 13th of February after hours. So I don't know what is supporting this sudden bullishness for PACB. Maybe it's going to be the run up to earnings, which is giving a little bit of optimism, but I haven't seen any new news about it. Intelia is down 0.52% in pre-market trade, still going below this diagonal line of support from the previous bear channel, and that line is now acting as a resistance. And then we look at Illumina, and Illumina is up 0.01%. And friends, I have been talking to you about this reverse head and shoulder pattern, where I predicted that we might touch 103.41. It seems that we did that yesterday momentarily, and then we came back up again. I think it is still at play, but what works in favor of Illumina today is the potential of a dead cat bounce, because RSI is totally oversold, and we have got our MACD also super bearish. So when those kind of things happen, there's a general tendency for bottom fishers to come in thinking that the bottom is already arrived, and then there's a little bit of buying pressure and things start moving back up again. So I'd hope that happens for Illumina today. And their earnings were also pretty good. I'll have to go and check out their earnings and maybe make a video on that. I'll have to check what they're talking about in terms of future potentials, the next quarter earnings. But the action in China in response to tariffs is going to be a big problem for them. And yeah, thanks, Inf. I heard about Vertex. Thank you very much. Yeah. So Illumina is going to be pressured by Chinese action in response to the tariffs from the US. So that factor still remains regardless of anything that's happening with the earnings. IMTX has got no trades pre-market, super bearish. Editas is still trying to decide whether it's going to form a reverse head and shoulder. We'll leave it at that today. It's up 2.50% in pre-market trades, which in my opinion is a good sign. Hope that continues. Iowa is up 0.56% in pre-market trades, but the stock is looking very, very weak on the charts for me. Unicure is down 3.15%. I think that it's decided to fill this gap up, and it might start coming down. Everything is looking weak on the charts out here. Vertex post earnings has seen a minor drop of 0.42% in pre-market trades today. And we also have a situation where we have a golden cross forming out here, the 200-day exponential being crossed over by the 21-day exponential moving average. So that's a bullish sign. MACD is bullish but tending towards the signal line. Momentum is also above average. And in terms of earnings, they underperformed for EPS as per TradingView expectations, and the revenue was pretty good. But overall, I think my focus was more on my focus was more on CashJV, and I think that lack of news on the CashJV front has definitely hurt CRISPR. And probably that is something that's not such a big item for Vertex, considering their portfolio and their set of monetized therapies, but definitely for CRISPR. And then MBOT, this is what our friend David always watches. It's not doing too well at this point of time. Let's go on to look at AI now. And in AI, we have Google, which is down 0.37% in pre-market trades. It is still within the huge bear candle that we had before, so that is a little bit positive for me. But it has still not managed to break out above the 21-day exponential, so that's not a good thing. And also our MACD is super bearish. Momentum is also below average. Again, I think that we have to look for some kind of a dead cat bounce here, but everything is going to be in holding pattern until we get the inflation numbers. Tesla is continuing to plumb new depths. It's got the next support at 346.05, but I think that it's going to blow past that as well, because MACD is bearish and momentum is not yet dropped significantly. It's gone down below average, but the RSI is still not reached the oversold stage. So I'm thinking that there could be further drops out here for Tesla. And we have Apple, which is down 0.39%. It has not yet created a new lower low, so that's a positive for me so far, but it's still below the 20-day exponential. That's a negative. Its momentum is below average. That's a negative. MACD is still bullish, but almost ready to cross over to the bearish side. So given the pre-market action of 0.39, I think that it's looking a little bit weak. Let us look at Meta. Meta is down 0.21%, and it's a very, very strong stock, looking very strong on the charts as well. And it's got this diagonal line of resistance of this megaphone bull channel. It's approaching closer to it, so it could definitely fall because it has it's blown past the RSI ceiling that we had in the past of 77.85, from where it used to turn back down. So I'm thinking that Meta is going to lose today. And we got Microsoft, which is down 0.27%. It's still struggling to stay within day before's large drop, this large red candle. So that's a positive in my opinion, but the fact that it's below the 200-day and the 21-day exponential indicates that it's not in a very good position. Well, below average momentum and bearish MACD, all of that indicate that it's not a great day for Microsoft. Again, the overhang of inflation data and tariffs, all those things are still on top of these companies. The strong dollar is also playing a big role in this. Qualcomm is down 0.58% in pre-market trades, but still managing to remain within this bullish channel, within the support provided by this bull channel. So I'll leave it to be there. Oh, sorry, I was looking at Amazon. So Amazon is still in the bullish channel. So I got a bit distracted with the comments out here. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so we are looking at Amazon, and Amazon is looking weak today. Overall, I think all of this is for the Mag 7 would be attributed to tariff fights, the strong US dollar, and also the inflation numbers that are due to come. So all these things put together are putting a bit of a damper out there, but I don't think it will last too long. We have NVIDIA coming up next, and NVIDIA's earnings are also due on the 26th of February. NVIDIA is showing a bit of a rally. I think there's a lot of juice in NVIDIA's engine, so I think that it's going to pick up. The MACD has become positive, and I think this morning it's down 0.39%, but I feel that because it is above the support, it has converted a resistance also into support yesterday, and that was a very strong resistance which was along with 21-day exponential moving average putting a lid on NVIDIA. It has broken past that, so that's a lot of strength out there. So I'm thinking that NVIDIA will do well today. I may be wrong, but this is my feeling based on what I see here so far. Qualcomm is down 0.54%. I still have the cup and handle target of 200.33, and it's still above the 21-day and the 200-day exponential moving average. However, the MACD is bearish, but momentum is still intact. AMD is struggling a lot. It's not able to break through this diagonal line of resistance, but once it does, then its real challenge will start for recovering lost ground, but it's looking pretty bad. Lack of progress on data center sales is hurting AMD big time. And we have FNGU, which is a collection of all these FANG stocks. It's down around 0.88% in pre-market trades, but I expect that it could fall down even further. Right now it has support of the 21-day exponential, and it's in a consolidation pattern, but it could fall very easily because it's 3x leveraged. And then let's look at Broadcom. So Broadcom is looking pretty good overall. It has been making higher lows and higher highs and creating a new bull channel. It's almost completed the gap fill for the gap down. It's got a little more left out here, and I hope that it gets that done quickly. MACD has also turned bullish. Momentum has also picked up. So I'm hopeful for Broadcom. Oracle is struggling to fill this gap up, but it has completed the journey to a good extent and a little more to go. And its MACD is still bullish. Momentum is also above average, even though pre-market it's down minus 0.44%. I think Oracle should be able to fill up the gap before going further. Even if it consolidates, maybe it could consolidate sideways and a little up. That's what I am thinking, a minor gain today. Palantir is up 0.33%. There's a huge gap up out here. This is a very scary stock in my opinion. It's priced very, very richly. And I would stay away from this stock. Again, personal opinion. You guys can put your comment in the comment section and I can get an idea of what you think about it. Then I would like to go to Adobe, which I think has done very well. It had a huge green candle yesterday. Today pre-market it's down 0.03%, but I think it's on the journey towards its cup and handle target of 477.86. Probably we might have a bit of consolidation today and tomorrow with a move upwards, so mild upward movement with a sideways movement. That is quite possible for Adobe in my opinion. Now, if I'm coming to SMCI, which you were talking about, a very, very strong upward movement out here. And we are looking at the cup and handle target that I had drawn out here before of 49.08. Right now we are at 41.16. I'm just going to move this around so that this cup and handle starts to look decent. So let me put it this way. This is our cup and handle. Okay. This is our cup and handle target out here. And we are right now at 41.17. So there's almost, I would say, $8 to gain from this point. And yes, in Palantir is very, very pricey. And we have ARM Holdings next. And in ARM Holdings, let me recalibrate the chart again. Just give me 1 second. So in ARM Holdings, what I am seeing is that we have converted one of our supports at 161.93 into a resistance. So this is not a good thing. Momentum is also approaching average. It is still above average, but it's moving in the wrong direction. MACD is also trying to cross over to the signal side, to the bearish side. So overall, ARM Holdings is displaying a bit of weakness out here. Pre-market it's down 0.90%, but overall it's still creating new higher highs and higher lows. So I wouldn't be worried as yet. It's also about the 21-day and the 200-day exponential. So nothing too bad out here, maybe a bit of consolidation. ASML is up 0.39%. Again, geopolitical issues are keeping this down. Once those are resolved, I think nothing would be able to stop ASML. Then we have INTC, Intel plumbing the depths. This is a triple bottom out here. Will it really take off? I really don't know what's going to happen with Intel. It has lost its luster. There is not much enthusiasm in the market for Intel, and it's all below average. And momentum is not that great. MACD is also bearish. Let us see what happens. I don't know what's going to save Intel. And then we go and have a look at SMH, which is a semiconductor ETF. It's down 0.49% in pre-market trades, but it's consolidating over a period of time. It's neither here nor there, but as long as it's above the 21-day and the 200-day exponential, I'm positive about it. It's also got above average momentum, and MACD is trying to cross over the signal line to the bullish side. So potentially positive. So that's the way I would put it. Looking at AV, which gained 2.95% yesterday, it's lost 0.96% in pre-market trades, and it's still above the 200-day and the 21-day exponential. So I'm happy about it. But let's see what happens when the market opens. MACD is bullish. Momentum is also above average. So it has the potential of going up further. It still seems to be in a bull channel, and it's trying to cover this gap down that happened earlier. And hopefully it will be successful. So I'm just going to draw this bull channel line out here on which it is traveling so that it can become a reference for us in future analysis. So this is where we are. And the channel is very strong today. Was very strong yesterday with the confluence of 21-day, 200-day, and this diagonal line. That said, Snowflake is down 0.45% and in pre-market trades, but in my opinion, we have a cup and handle target of around 225 or 224. We'll see what happens out there. MACD is still bullish and momentum is still above average, so anything can happen here. Hainesbrand International, this is something in which I have kept money and I'm incurring losses out here. I have accrued losses. I have not booked it. I was looking at a cup and handle target of around 11.27. That was a phenomenal gains to be had out there, but it's not going the way I anticipated. We are dropping further. This was a tariff play, and on 13th February we are going to get earnings. Hopefully the earnings gives me an opportunity to exit this stock because it's not doing very good. Yes, in Snowflake 225 price target, that's what I was looking at out there. Next, go to Netflix. We have 1027.60 as the closing price yesterday for Netflix. Pre-market, it's down 0.42%, and I think I wouldn't worry too much about Netflix right now because it's above the 21-day and the 200-day exponential moving average. MACD is also bullish, momentum is above average. RSI is overbought, but still not where it has turned back in the past, so it could go up further. The only concern I have here is the gap up. Gap ups always show disorderly upward movement, so they act as a magnet to pull the price towards it. So this could create a little bit of downward pressure for Netflix. And the other aspect for Netflix also, which I kept on telling yesterday, is that the experience for a consumer is now approaching to the same experience that the consumer had with cable, because of which they did the cord cutting and came to streaming services. Now streaming services are going there both in terms of cost as well as advertisements. So I don't know how this is going to work out, but Disney has already started showing losing subscribers. So we'll see what happens with Netflix. Then we have Dell, which has been going up significantly. Again, this is a data center play, and we have got we got the price approaching the 21-day and the 200-day exponential moving average. It's converted the 21-day exponential moving average into a support. It's trying to cross the 200-day. Pre-market, it's down 1% in pre-market action, but overall the MACD and the momentum are still positive. Accenture again is a AI consulting play. I have a cup and handle target for Accenture of around 447.84. This is going to be a long-term target, and we are moving in that direction. This is a bull flag that is being created, or a bullish pennant that's being created out here, in my opinion. We are down 0.39% in pre-market trade. The drop could be attributed to being overbought. Now consolidation has enabled the RSI to cool down so it can move up again. Of course, the overhang of inflation and interest rates and all those things, those are the things that create a problem for most of the stocks right now, and that will be gone in the next 2 or 3 days. Rigetti is up 1.21%. Again, this is a stock where I'm stuck with losses. It was a speculative buy. Of course, I made money with buying calls and selling calls, so I made some money out there. But overall, my position with Rigetti is a loss-making position. I'm waiting to exit from there when the opportunity presents. SMR is something in which I made money with options day before yesterday, and I have a cup and handle target for it for 32.13. It has dropped 0.84% today, and I think I'll be buying some calls today and see what happens. Next, I'm going to genomics. Yeah, we already done genomics, so I think we have covered all our bases at this point of time. And if you wanted to look at the indices, right? So let us go to the indices. If you have any specific question, we can handle that. So I will. Vertiv is also kind of an AI play and reporting earnings tomorrow morning. Okay, let us check out Vertiv. VERTIV. So you're talking about Vertiv Holdings? So Vertiv, there's a gap down and it has to be filled up. Earnings tomorrow morning. Yeah, this could be something for a swing trade. Maybe buy some calls and see what happens. I don't know how this company performs. I have no background, but looking at past performance, it has always exceeded the expectations. So if we expect the same things to happen, then probably if we buy a call in the morning, the value of the call might go up. By evening you sell and you get out, because we could have a situation where the earnings may create a drop in the price. I don't know. It's very speculative. So honestly, I don't know about this. So we'll see what happens. Oh, they make cooling systems for NVIDIA. Then I think they should be in a very strong position, because all the Mag 7 have been allocating huge amount of money for data center infrastructure, and cooling is an integral part of that infrastructure. So I think I would definitely buy some calls of this in the morning and see how it goes. I'll be happy if the price goes up. It will be a bullish approach. So that's what I have here. And if I would go and have a look at indicators for you, please let me know what you are looking for. What do you want? Did you miss the entire indicator section in the morning? So this is Dow Jones out here, and I think it's still looking bullish. Pre-market, I think we don't have the pre-market action out here, but let me go to the futures, because all these indices are static right now. We have Nasdaq futures out here, which still show that it is negative. It's down 0.54% in pre-market trades, and I think the fact that it's still above the 21-day exponential and the 200-day is a big positive for me. It's still forming higher lows, and that's again another positive for me. The only negative here is that it's not forming higher highs yet. So this is the resistance I would put on top of it. So if we break through this resistance, then I'll be happy. Then our next resistance is going to be 22,079.75. So unless we break through the current pennant that we have on here, this consolidation range, I think there is nothing much to talk about with these indices. Momentum and MACD both are in a hold pattern. And if you look at S&P 500 E-mini futures, again, the story is the same. It's all in consolidation pattern, waiting for economic news and waiting for the outcome of these tariff discussions and China sanctions and other things. So I keep on using the word sanctions. What I mean to say is tariff action, the trade war, because we have steel and aluminum tariffs now, and China is going to prevent rare earth material exports to US, which is very critical for a lot of high-tech products. And therefore, the option for US will be to manufacture products in China. If they do that, China is going to impose tariffs on oil and gas imports. So that's the energy cost that will get into the cost of manufacturing. So the cost of manufacturing will go up in China. And then when it's imported back into the US tariff will click on it. So tariff on tariff on tariff. So this is really messy. I think a very crazy person has started this trade war, and it's going to be absolutely horrible. So I think things are looking bad overall. So let us look at Shopify quickly. Shopify earnings are out. So Shopify earnings, they have outperformed EPS by 2.03% and revenue by 3.62%. And pre-market, they are down 3.10%. So one of the reasons why Shopify could have a problem is because when we have these tariff issues, and also remember, China packages are not being picked up by US Postal Service. At least that's what I heard last, and I have not heard anything that says otherwise. So Shopify dropshipping merchants and all of those people are likely to face a lot of problems. So that could be one of the reasons why the outlook for Shopify is not going to be great until those issues are resolved. And tariff will definitely hurt Shopify. But on the other hand, Shopify merchants can sell within their country and avoid tariffs. So those businesses, those sales might probably go up. So it will be a reconfiguration of sales. I don't know how it will turn out. So if it is sales within China, then you got Temu and Alibaba and all those guys. They will rule the roost out there because they can source local and they can source better. When it comes to the US, I suppose that products will be more expensive because they'll all have tariffs and they all have this problem of anything coming in from China not coming in anymore because those small value shipments are not going to come through. So it'll be interesting to see how Amazon gets hit because of this and how Walmart gets hit because of this. We'll find out in due course, but that's an angle that I think we have to keep in mind. So that's about it, my friends. It's around 8:24 and I'm planning to end the session. We'll have this every morning at 7:45, and this way I think that genomics investors also can be online and ask me questions, and we can have a much more direct interaction and become the real retail community where we can share intelligence and do better. Thanks for joining us, Inf, and also I saw someone called Kiran in there, so thanks Kiran for joining. I hope more people join together and we can have more interactive technical analysis session, and we can also pick up stocks that you are particularly interested in and talk about them. So my friends, I'm going to sign off now and I'll go for the pre-market trading on my favorite trading platform, and I'll catch up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.